Hi, I'm Stephen Lee. Welcome to Audio Trends TV. Today we have a visitor all the way from Holland. We have Martin Binnendak from Vanden Hull. Audio Trends have been selling Vanden Hull products, cartridges and particularly cables since the early 1980s. So we've had a long association, but this is your first time here to our store, so welcome.
Thank you.
What I'd like you to just tell our viewers a little bit about is the company and some of the new products that you've got coming along. Martin, if you could do that for us.
Yeah, we got some great news, but I'll get to it later. Vanden Hull started about 35 years ago because A.J. Vanden Hull, still going strong, 75 years old, then decided that the tip of a cartridge could be improved, and he did so. After that, he of course made a new cartridge, and it was all a great success. But the one thing that was missing was he couldn't get the cables and the metal inside the cartridge correctly. And he started to get interested in metallurgy, and it's difficult for me as a Dutchman to speak all the English words, but you'll understand.
You're doing okay.
Okay. And he found out that there's far more to a wire, a copper wire or a silver wire, than the eye can behold. And from that on, he was focusing on cable. We did a number of metal cables in the first. Then we started out with carbon. We were the first company who had an all non-metal cable. First, second and third as being two interconnects and a speaker cable. After that we made a lot of copper silver cables, any configuration you can think of, but still there was something missing, something we got in the carbon cables but which we could get in the copper cables or copper silver plated cables. That's when we started to looking for alloys which could do the trick, and so far we hadn't found any. So we made our own, and the first one was built in the Fusion series. It was 3 metals together, and the success was amazing. It was really one of those big steps you have in developing a product, whether it's a cable or anything else. And going from there, we now have our new series, which is really spectacular. It is called the 3T series. It's true technology, true transmission technology, and it will surpass any metal cable on the market, we're sure.
Yes, we can certainly look over 35 years of successful product. But Martin, one of the problems for us in a retail environment is a lot of our consumers who are getting into audio for the first time sometimes are a little bit frightened, if that's the right word, for the cost of cables. Now, of course, we look at it a little differently because we realise that without a cable between one component and the other, well, there is no signal. So the cable obviously is very important because it's transferring the signal from one component to another. But you made an interesting point earlier about listening or hearing cables. I thought you might like to just elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, the basic idea is that the ideal cable would be a cable that you can't hear, because if the electronics are up to what they should do, and if the speakers are good, well, why would you need to hear a cable? And that's basically everything we try to do in the 3T. Just get the electronics to do their work, get the speakers to do their work, and have the two converse together. Because if a speaker can't hear the amplifier, can't work with the amplifier, the sound that will come out of it will always be less than the 100% you should have expected buying for quite a bit of money a piece of electronics and a piece of speakers. So cables do matter. They can't make the system, but they can break the system. And with the new technology we have, we think we come as close to the 100% deliverance that should be there in the first place, because people pay money for it. And as you are right, cables do cost money. There's a reason for that.
I was going to touch on that. So
I know you were.
Good.
So there's a lot of money involved. And why is a cable expensive? Well, basically because you need materials that are very pure. If you want copper, you can't use recycled copper because there's too much pollution in it. So you need the purity of the copper. The wire needs to be drawn slowly, so there's a lot more to it than just simply going to the plumber, buy some copper, melt it down and make a wire of it. And with the 3T we even go as far as taking 5 metals, 1 non-metal, put them together in a vacuum room, make an alloy, and the alloy is so special that it really needs to be paid that much money.
Yes, and one thing that new viewers or people who aren't aware of Vanden Hull, something we as Audio Trends do. We actually give you a money-back guarantee on the purchase of any Van den Holt cable. We are so confident that it will make an improvement to your system that we are prepared to make that promise to you. Well, look, thank you very much for coming over to see us today, and we hope you enjoy Australia whilst you're here. Till next time, happy listening.
Bye-bye.